Today I am going to talk about men's health, and in particular about father's health in this lecture today. In fact, unlike women, men do not go through a rapid menopause-like process. However, men also go through andropause, in which male hormone levels steadily decrease. But for men, even from an early age, they can be affected by a lot of environmental factors and stress. Working in your 20s and 30s as a part of a company or organization can cause excessive drinking, smoking, and a lot of stress. If you're overwhelmed by excessive work at this time, you can't exercise properly. You can already have belly fat in your early 20s and 30s. You can feel a lot of exhaustion. In fact, many people complain of liver function damage due to stress, excessive drinking, and abdominal obesity. Of course, men can recover well if they take care of their health while they're young and exercise. But there are many cases where they don't. Now, as you go from your 30s to your 40s, you'll feel that your recovery is much slower. Now, people jokingly say, wait till you're in your 40s, wait till you're in your 50s or 60s, your daily life changes. A lot of people say this, and I heard a lot of this too. Not only is there social stress and irregular eating habits, but male hormones are reduced by about 2% every year starting in their 20s. So in your 40s, you'll have 20 to 30% of the levels compared to your youth. When you're in your 50s or 60s, it's 10%. Once you're in your 70s or 80s, it's almost less than 5%. So people say that your male hormones decrease a lot. So for male hormones, when there's a reduction, it's actually masculinity which plays a major role. It's being active and aggressive. Masculinity is reacting when you see an attractive person. But once this falls off, it can be accompanied by a little depression. And when building up and maintaining muscle strength, the most important element is actually male hormones. In your 20s and 30s, even if you lack muscle strength, due to excessive fatigue and lack of exercise, if you diligently lift weights and exercise, it's possible to recover a lot. But once you're over 40, even if you put in the effort to exercise, it's hard to grow muscles as big or recover your health to what it was before. And male hormones also play a large role in bones. So men can develop osteoporosis or get weak bones. Your flexibility can weaken as well. Next is something that comes with age. This actually doesn't have to do with male hormone levels, but because of stress and various other causes, there are many cases where you can get hair loss. And the biggest headache for men is prostate hypertrophy. So when you're over 40 or around 50 to 60 years old, a lot of men suffer from this kind of prostate hypertrophy. So for men, while they have to manage their health from a young age, they have to manage particularly well in their 40s and 50s. It's not easy to recover broken health. You have to maintain your muscular strength as you get older. It's not easy to recover muscle strength once it's damaged in your 40s and 50s. When you're young, weight loss might be fine. But once you're 40, 50, or 60 years old, it's better to refrain from rapid weight loss and better to lose it very slowly. Why? Because once your muscles are reduced, it's hard to recover them. In particular, we can build arm and leg muscles at the gym, But for things like our core or muscles around our spine, it's not easy to recover them with exercise for the most part. So for healthy men, it's important to maintain health when you're young, but to really pay attention in your middle age. Then the first most important thing for men is obviously exercise. No matter what we say, it's actually impossible to live without stress. So we have no choice but to get stressed. But what relieves this is exercise. I recommend that you do aerobic exercise that uses up to 50 to 60% of your maximum capacity. And because it's important for men to maintain their muscles, it's good to do exercise that maintains muscles as well. There's no need to overdo it. It's good to invest about 20 to 30% of our exercise towards muscle maintenance. Then around 70 to 80% can be for aerobic exercise. Of course, if you're building muscle for some purpose, you can invest more time into it, but it won't dramatically improve your health. Because your muscles won't increase as much as you'd expect, you really don't have to overdo it. Especially for men, things like stress and overactivity can cause a lot of free radicalization. When we're young, even when we have some free radicals, we get rid of a lot of them because our bodies have the capacity to do so. But as we get older, our ability to remove them decreases. And men are very busy and have to pay attention to themselves. It's said that the concentration of free radicals increases a lot due to large amounts of activity and irregular eating habits. That's why I strongly recommend you to eat antioxidant foods, as well as products with antioxidant ingredients. I strongly recommend people consume these because we cannot consume these colorful rainbow vegetables every day for each and every meal. So it's good to supplement whatever you're lacking. In particular, men can get weak bones. It's not easy for modern people to see the sun, so it's easy to get osteoporosis from calcium concentrations. It's important for men to intake vitamin D in appropriate amounts. I also emphasize protein intake whenever I can. Because protein is something that isn't stored in our bodies, it's important that we supplement as much as we need whenever we can throughout every single day. Since it's not stored, you will lose muscle if you overexercise without sufficient protein or don't intake any for the day on the basis of having a lot the day before because our bodies store protein on a daily basis. So it's extremely important to consume protein well and regularly. And once men start developing a belly and gaining weight, they think that they have to cut out fat altogether. But that's not correct. A balanced diet is 55 to 60% carbohydrates, around 25% fat, and about 15 to 20% protein. Note that there's a recommended daily intake of 25% fat. About 10% of that 25% are saturated fatty acids and 15% are unsaturated fatty acids. In fact, most unsaturated fatty acids are essential fatty acids that cannot be produced in our bodies. They are omega-3, omega-6, and 7. Among them, omega-3s are widely used in our bodies. This omega-3 that we cannot produce in our bodies are involved in brain tissue and cell membranes. In particular, these omega-3s help prevent excessive triglycerides from increasing in our bodies, so we're prescribed them as medication. Even without a prescription, omega-3 plays many good roles. Since it's an essential fatty acid, I recommend you to take some. Men have to also worry about prostate hypertrophy. In fact, this is quite a concern for men. You can't think of it as a disease that'll come as you get older. Add some good food to your diet for your prostate accordingly. Next, you must get adequate sleep. Make sure to try getting regular sleep time. And to relieve stress, enjoy some hobbies suited to you. You have to be equipped with these things so that you can live a healthy life with good muscle strength until you're 99 or 100. You must make efforts to have this kind of life. This is the case especially for young men in their 20s and 30s as well as old age. There are so many cases of fatty liver or liver failure that leads often to complaints of fatigue. You have to be equipped with these things so that you can live a healthy life. You take these products that are good for your liver. If you're tired and have liver problems, there's a lot of milk thistle on the market these days. It's good to take some health functional foods containing milk thistle. And, of course, for men, no matter what, vital energy is also extremely important. It's good for sperm production. Another thing you need is zinc. It's easy to run out of minerals like selenium, which is essential for men, so I think it's important to take products with them to make sure your body doesn't run out.